Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another session of Destined to Roll. Tonight we are diving back into Wanderer's Path after a week off. We had a pretty amazing one-shot. Actually, it was probably my favorite one-shot I've ever written, not gonna lie. I had a good time.
Fun.
It was fun.
Murderized us in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, totally killed everybody in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Anyways, before we get started tonight, a couple of announcements. If you are not following us on Twitter, please go ahead and do that. That is at @RollDestined. We post some fun things, different announcements. Oh my gosh, I forgot how to speak there for a second. And as well as, yeah, so just check us out there for updates and the like, as well as check out our Discord server to hang out with the group and the community. It's pretty great. And if you are not following us on YouTube, that's where we post backlog sessions. We just published session 4 of Patolis this week, so go check that out to see what that group is up to.
That was a very cool session. It was a session where a thing happened and the group did everything.
Yeah, totally.
And we almost all died.
But that happens almost every other session.
Yeah. But check out our YouTube channel. We have other one-shots as well as other sessions of this campaign and the Patolis campaign. Join us next week at 6 p.m. on Thursday Pacific Standard Time for our Patolis campaign. And then if you're having fun here, we will see you next week on Friday at 7 p.m. for the continuation of this campaign. So, before we get, as we're getting started, there's also, since you guys, we didn't stream last week, but I want to introduce a new friend. So, Cece, say hi to everybody.
Hi!
Who are you?
Who left the back door open?
Sorry. I just have a habit of adopting strays.
But she followed me home.
She did. She was so cute. I had to keep her. Okay. Anyways, Cece is going to be joining us for this campaign. I really wanted a 6th player for story reasons, and so it worked out. We're all very excited to have her. Yeah. Okay, so she will be with us for a while. You will get to know her character too. But as we're getting started, the group just finished essentially freeing the kingdom of Brightstone from oppressive religious leader who was taking over everything, who also happened to be Dr. Rooks's father. So the group...
Don't expose me like that.
What?
I said, don't expose me like that.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, so the group went and found the Staff of Ebony, which was supposed to counteract the effects of the artifact of Cirrus in Brightstone that the Archbishop Frederick Soul had obtained. They went and met Velia in Brightstone. They traveled through the kingdom and made it to Brightstone proper, the main town, the capital. There they worked with Velia and kind of took out some of the generals and made it a little bit easier for themselves to confront the Archbishop. They, through finding some information and the like, found out that the Archbishop may have been a little bit possessed and managed to take him down and free the kingdom. We ended with Velia being put in her rightful spot as Queen Apparent, and the group working with the people of Brightstone to help repair and to see where they want to move forward during the Sun Festival. However, one of our members, Cass, gave a message to the guards, and then they slipped away for a little bit, taking some time to themselves. And so that is where we actually left off. So, at this point, oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. At this point, you have delivered the whole kingdom from corruption and evil, there is still a lot of work to be had.
Time to go, guys.
But the great push to the end and the time of living in fear and in hiding is a bit over, and you feel like you have a little bit more time to relax. The people spend the next few days in celebration for both the Sun Festival and what feels like the freedom of their kingdom. Velia took to her position as Queen Apparent extremely well, and got to know the people and their culture, and using her talents from the mask and how she infiltrates and, works in different kingdoms, she blended in as if she had been a part of Brightstone for her whole life. At the end of the festival, Blanca, Dr. Rooks' daughter, turned 14 and begged for a formal ball. Dr. Rooks, you, with the help of Velia and the rest of the group, very, very easily organized this. Everybody has a chance to dress up. They enjoy a night of dancing, music, good food, and fun. It wraps up the festival really well, and although several of you still feel a bit of a missing hole from Cass being gone. During the festival, Dr. Rooks, you take Blanca out into the gardens and sit her down to have a conversation about the future. She tells you that she doesn't want to be the Archbishop and would much rather lead the Paladins towards a new future, focusing
Period.
on...
Queen shit.
What?
Sorry, I'm just supporting my fake daughter. Continue.
But she wants to focus them on protecting Brightstone, the people, and the Queen Apparent. She also tells you that she doesn't mind if you continue to travel because she knows that you enjoy that and that your goddess calls you to it occasionally, but that she really enjoys where Brightstone is and wants to stay here, especially with Velia as Queen Apparent. So, Arwinia celebrates with your party. She asks questions about the culture, is fascinated by the advancements that the world has made. She helps set things up for the party, filling the ballroom with beautiful flowers and plants. However, at the end of the ball, as her magic begins to fade, you all understand that her temporary time in the material plane is coming to a close. She expresses to each of you the joy you have brought her and how much she's going to miss you, and that she really yearns to be free because she wants to help the world, just like you have helped this kingdom. She tells you all, I could feel it in my demi-plane, but I can feel it more here. The world is changing, and the gods are repeating the folly of those before them. Strong and noble people like yourselves are how the world continues to thrive. Listen to the voices of the gods that you trust and follow their advice. I can feel the changes in the world brewing, and that several of the gods are fighting some. Please let me know how I can help even when I'm gone. At the end of the evening, she shifts and gives you all hugs and shimmers into gold sparkles and fades back into the book. Dr. Rooks, you can still talk with her as you were, but it hurts a little bit more knowing that you got a chance to spend time with her and now she is back where she is trapped.
What are you talking about? I'm completely fine. This doesn't hurt at all.
Not at all. At the end of the Sun Festival, Velia, with the help of Dr. Rooks, Elman, Edna, and Blanca, and other good people of Brightstone, work to assemble the new council. Zai and Snud, you two assist in this, but those are the people who know Brightstone well. The council is not just made up of those in Brightstone who were rich, as it was before, but also had an equal representatives from all the factions and class rankings. It took roughly a month, with many meetings, open conversations with people of Brightstone, and time to hear from the outer cities in the whole kingdom. But the kingdom decides to continue with sort of a modified monarchy. Velia is crowned Queen Regent, the leader of the council in the kingdom, but she declares herself to be servant to the people first. The council makes most of the decisions for the kingdom, and the people electing those to serve on it. You are all given a small wing in the castle with rooms of your own, a central living area, and a workshop for making potions and enchanting. Velia expresses that these quarters will always be available to you as well as any guest, so that you feel like you have a home here. Elman, After your semi-public statement, and because of your charming demeanor, you were accepted to the people, or by the people, very easily as the Queen's consort. Sorry, I pronounced that wrong. You spend much time in court and helping around the kingdom, supporting Velia and helping her with her work. Unfortunately, there have been many nosy questions about your relationship, but luckily both of you are good at slipping away to find time for your budding relationship. You also purchased a small store on the west side of town and have spent some time and energy turning it into a small music store and venue. After seeing the people be without music and the arts for years, you wanted to show them the joy that it can bring. Because of your position and heroic deeds in saving Brightstone, it's not hard for this to get off the ground with the help of your friends within about a month. You pick up an overeager apprentice, a half-elven girl named Eliona, or you guys call her Ellie for short. She has an affinity for music and theater and is great with the customers. She seems very fascinated with you and your friends and always begs Snud for stories of your travels. Snud?
Yeah.
Between the friends that you made throughout your little bar crawls and the people being encouraged through the stories of you and your parties that are passed throughout the kingdom, you've become somewhat of a local legend. You continue to spend time with the people, spreading love for stories and heroic deeds, encouraging them that any moment of their daily life can be a story if they are noble of heart. Whenever you go to a tavern, exchanging these stories in celebration, rumors tend to spread fast and the tavern always becomes extremely full. The tavern owners in the city begin to see you as a blessing, bringing them prosperity, and your encouragement helps jumpstart the economy again. You help your friends where you can. You spend time helping Elman with his shop, sparring with Blanca and Zai, and working with the Paladins of the Sun as a favor to Velia, as well as spending time in the workshop with Dr. Rooks, him working on potions and you enchanting some of the items that we've discussed. Zylovar?
Yes.
Other than sparring, there's not much fight to be had. It's a bit of an odd feeling for you, this feeling of peace, but so to speak, you hang up your axe. You spend some time training and keeping yourself fit, feeling yourself grow in power and strength, but there's a joy in it rather than an anger, especially when you train with your new goddaughter. She brings such a joyous light to your life that you haven't felt since before your village was destroyed. Seeing everyone work on your own projects, their own projects, you elect to help, being the muscle to set up Elman's shop, making sure that Rooks and Snud's workshops are built properly, help rebuilding the city where Velia needs help. You find that you want to help more, and actually ask Rooks to teach you how to cook, which has quite a few funny moments there. Dr. Rooks, it's a strange thing to be settled down in an area for a while and to be reunited with your daughter. And it's stranger still to watch Brightstone flourish and grow, different from the place that you fled all those years ago. After the craziness of the festival is over, you help rebuild Brightstone, but you enjoy the time without worry of being discovered or being persecuted. It's encouraging to see the small changes in your best friend's eye as he takes to being Blanca's godfather and training and sparring with her and becoming more peaceful as a person. He seems eager to help everyone with their projects and learning to do things other than fighting. You also spend time reading the Tome of Understanding, so your wisdom has increased to 22.
Period, king shit.
If you've not done that already. As well as working on potions, keeping some and selling others, giving them to the people as you see fit. After about a month, you decide to reach out to Cass again. If you would like to send that message.
Oh yeah, time to read this shit out. God damn, I have to do so much scrolling. I'm sorry things didn't work out. Life is hard, but I know you're strong enough to get through it. I know you'll do better than I did. You'll be a hero, not a failure.
You wait for several minutes and there is no response.
I mean, that's fair.
Several months pass, about 5 in total since you took back Brightstone. It feels rather odd after the months of traveling and adventuring to feel so settled, so to speak. That morning, or this morning, I suppose, you all get a notice from Velia, or Queen Velia, I should call her, that she wants to throw a very small dinner party for all of you to say thank you for your hard work in helping rebuild Brightstone. Snud and Zai, you find yourselves with Blanca, helping to set up. Zai, you've gotten rather good at cooking and decide to help the chefs in the kitchen prepare an amazing meal. So, Elman and Rooks, you find yourself at the Wizard's Tower, which has remained primarily deserted for the time being. Elman, Velia asked you to sort through things and make a list so that she can start pulling the Wizards Guild back together. That's her next goal of things to rebuild. Dr. Rooks, Arwinia has been weighing on your mind heavily, and you decide to do a little bit more research. Trying to see if you can find more information, maybe in their library there. So, could I get an investigation check from you? And if Elman's assisting, you can do it with the advantage.
Yes, Elman will reluctantly assist. He does not like to read, but that's okay.
You're a bard. Your entire thing is learning through reading and other things.
I learned through stories and music.
Alright, I got a natural 20.
Amazing first roll tonight. Okay, you don't find many specifics, even though the books seem to say that and even the books seem to say that there's not much known about how Sakuna, the goddess of knowledge, locked away the primordials and limited planar travel. However, you do find tucked away in a small corner, missed by some of your previous perusals, a journal of notes that seems to be written as what you recognize from the other journal that you found, the Archmage Metis's hand. This talks about how it is thought that when specific small planar pockets, as she calls them, are created between planes, especially those that are made to either hold tight or be a safe zone or to lock away beings, that they're bound to a physical object in the material plane. However, depending on the power of whatever's contained in the planar pockets, sometimes the physical objects seem to seep energy. So, because of your natural 20, I'm giving you advantage on a history check quickly for some stuff that you've heard before.
Hey, that's +7, y'all. That's 22.
Okay. 22, got it. So you recognize this immediately as some of the discussion from the Charcepta archives a couple months ago in the city of Pignus, with our good friends Brianna and Jack, who let slip that there's this thing called grimoires, and that's how Sakuna locked away the primordials. She split up their essences and put them in these grimoires, is what they described it as. And so you're starting to associate this with maybe these grimoires or other such things are how she keeps them in there. And it makes sense, especially with the one that you guys fought, that it was seeping dark energy. So I'm going to also remind you with that 22 history check that Avalan did mention that she grew up in a library associated with the Charcepta archives in the Ranico Strand, where she found the journal on a bookshelf one day.
Oh shit. Okay, so basically what you're implying is that whatever is keeping Arwinia might be there in theory.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Basically what I'm implying.
Okay, so does that imply that Arwinia. Okay, never mind. I don't think I'd know that until I like see what she would be trapped in. Okay, cool. All right, adding that to the list, I guess.
Okay. As the afternoon fades away, you two hear banging on the lower door. Kind of in the, if you remember, you were on the first floor, kind of perusing through that library. So you hear knocking on the lower door.
Brooks, there's someone at the door.
All right, I guess I'll answer the door. And he goes down to get the door.
Okay. Opening the door, it reveals a rather odd pair, a very tall purple tiefling girl and a blue dragonborn with a patch of white scales around his eye. Reverie, would you introduce yourself, please?
Okay. Introduce or describe, I'm sorry.
Describe, sorry.
Reverie is, she's decently tall. She has kind of ashy purple skin with darker purple spots. She has two sets of horns, one of which is shorter than the other. Yeah, she is as the horns tell, she is a tiefling. She has a light wooden mask on and a what looks like, movable material dress on. And I suppose that's just about the extent to how she looks.
All right. Doverax, just for funsies, would you describe yourself?
Un momento, por favor. Need to pull out the character sheet.
You love a bilingual king.
Yeah, super trilingual if you count the very minimal Japanese I know. Okay.
Wait, really?
Yeah, konnichiwa. That's all of it. Okay. I did say minimal. All right. A blue dragonborn that is about 5'10", not quite 5'11", which makes him sad. He doesn't have hair. He has his horns pulled back and low to his head. Everything seems to be in place on him besides the white scales that surround his right eye.
All right. So, Dr. Rooks, you are encountering yourself with these characters. Reverie, you traveled with the small group of the Finders of the Lost towards Brightstone for several days. As you got close, the rest of the group took a fork in the road and headed back towards the Sandbar Oasis, as several of them had to get back for different contracts. You continued with Doverax as he offered to help you find an item that you were searching for at the behest of Saina. Am I saying that right? I think I did. Saina? Saina, thank you. She believes from her divinations that you are destined to find an artifact, the artifact of Nimbus. The two of you stopped at the mandolins to deliver the painting of Quasito, a painting of a stunning elven lady in a glen, her golden hair tumbling down her back and a ring of flowers sitting on her brow. Rumored to be Quasito's greatest treasure, lost for decades until your group uncovered it about a week ago. Doverax received his payment, and the two of you went to the Wizard Tower. Doverax was hoping that because this area was not associated with the Charsepta archives, that they would have some different information that you could find to help you with this search, as well as something that he was continuing to research as well. So you now find yourself met by a dark-skinned half-elf, Dr. Rooks, opening the door.
Dr. Rooks is a dark-skinned half-elf. Ears are pointed. He has dreadlocks tied back. He is not wearing a mask, so you see he has an eye patch with a scar going over and under it. And he just looks at you two. He just says, we haven't put out the job applications yet for wizards who want to join the Wizards Guild here yet. You guys might have to stay here for a couple of days if that's okay.
Oh.
You see him slowly starting to close the door.
Oh, Reverie puts her hand on the door. Hi. Well, I'm not a wizard. I'm not that good at magic, to be honest. She looks at Doverax for a moment.
Yeah, we have not come to apply for any position. In fact, I'm not even sure why this town is in such a ruin right now. I was hoping to see if I could gain access to some of the knowledge in the Wizard Tower.
That.
He just calls up and he just says, Helmet, can you call your girlfriend over here, please?
I'll go get her, but I can go get her.
Right, thank you.
Tell
You would
me
have to
goes to
ask
get-
the queen. The Queen Regent is currently working on the Wizards Guild currently, so it'd be best if you ask for her permission first. Would you all like to come in? I'm pretty sure they have a kettle here with some tea I can make for you all. And he opens the door.
I would love some tea.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah.
And Dr. Rooks is gonna make some tea. I'm gonna make a cooking check to see how good the tea is.
Okay.
That's 23. By the way, I have
Yeah.
a plus 10 to cooking now, so that's fun.
That's a skill? Hold on a minute.
No, I just made it.
Oh, Joey, I just realized I forgot to tell you. You now have a proficiency in cooking if you would like.
Yeah,
Of
we
course.
decided. We did decide it's a wisdom-based skill, though.
Yes.
That's saddening. Oh, I have a, I have a
You said
13.
wisdom. I don't know what you're talking
yeah.
about.
I have a. Good,
Yeah,
good.
while they're waiting for Vilia, he's just gonna make some nice jasmine tea.
Okay, so Reverie and Doverax, you step into what appears to be a long hallway. There's rooms along the left side, but along the right side, you see that it opens up into a large library that connects to kind of a kitchen. So this half elf goes and makes you guys some tea as you kind of sit down and stare at each other a little awkwardly.
Reverie is just like awkwardly pulling out her journal and just jotting stuff down.
What was your name again? I don't
Me?
believe I caught it because we never asked. No, you're Reverie.
Oh, you're talking to Rux. He looks up. He's like, my name is Grineth Soul. I'm friends with the Queen Revenant, and my daughter is the new leader of the Paladins. But you can call me Dr. Rux if you wish.
Pleasure to meet you, Doctor.
Reverie just kind of nods and jots that down. Dr. Rooks. Okay.
So you can just call me Rooks. The doctor part is just because I'm very good at what I do.
Well, yeah, it takes a lot of work, Doctor. Yeah, I wouldn't mind calling you Doctor. It pays some respect to the time you put in.
Yeah. I mean, you know, a bit of work
Oh,
you guys
it's-
put in.
Oh, you kids are so respectful.
You invited us into your library, and we can do nothing more than show a little respect.
Oh, well, that's very kind. And he pours them some tea. So, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh.
Keep going.
Yeah, he was just saying, what information are you guys looking for specifically? If you don't mind my asking, I might be able to give you some answers. I've done some research in some of the books around here.
Well, recently I've been having strange dreams and someone coming to me in them. I was hoping to find some answers on her.
And who would that be?
It's a semi-god named Arwinia.
Oh yes, I know the name. Arwinia was just here a couple days ago.
Who's just
A couple months ago.
A couple months ago.
where did she go? She spoke to me that she was trapped.
She was trapped, and she is again. I prayed to my goddess to let her out for a couple of days. She did, and she went right back. Currently, I'm in the process of finding a way to free her. She's a very nice person. You don't have to worry.
No, actually, I was hoping to find her, because everything I've heard about her points she needs freeing.
Oh yes, she does. Would you like to speak to her?
I mean, I speak to her most nights anyways, so I'm okay right now.
It's no problem. And you see, he pulls out a little black book, and he just writes, your blue dragonborn friend is here, Arwinia.
You get what you recognize as kind of her excited loopy handwriting back that says, you can like hear it in her voice. It says, "Oh, you've met Doverax. I didn't realize that he would find you."
He's like, yes, he seems like a nice young man. Is he trustworthy?
As far as I know, he managed to find the crystal that an old friend used to speak with me.
Oh, that's good. Also, I didn't know you could visit people in their dreams.
It's only those that have possession of this crystal. It's a spellcasting focus.
Well, lucky him. I guess I'll have to be, just saddened without your physical presence. It's very clearly sarcastic.
Sorry. Just cracking up a little bit. Don't worry, Dr. Rooks. We'll always be friends.
So, Doctor, what happened to Brightstone?
It was under the rule of a tyrannical archbishop for a very long time. We recently freed it.
Oh. Wow. No wonder.
That's quite a story, huh?
Oh, yes. Storytelling isn't really my forte. If you want to do that, you can go to one of the mini taverns and just ask for where Snud is.
Oh, we'll have to ask for Snud later then.
Okay, so after about 15 minutes, Elman returns with a figure who's wearing a dark cloak. She walks in and then you guys actually see a shift in how she carries herself almost, and pulls the cloak back, and you see a very beautiful half-elf, bright red hair, a little circlet around her head with a kind of yellow gem in it.
May I ask why you always leave with a cloak on?
Well, I mean, if the people see me, then I'm gonna have troubles getting anywhere quickly.
I mean, you are a master of disguise, though.
Yeah, but I figured it'd be a little bit easier to meet some people that could be potential wizards later on.
Oh yeah, I already have the names. I can fill out the rest of the applications for them if they so wish.
And who might you two be? And welcome to Brightstone. I am
And he
Velia, the current queen.
He pushes a teacup to Velia.
She drinks from it.
Remembering down the rest of her tea. She's hi, your Majesty. It's Majesty. I think Majesty is good. I'm Reverie. This is Doverax.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for the warm welcome.
You see a very amused smirk on her face. And may I ask you why you've come to Brightstone? Did you hear that we were looking for new wizards?
No, I came. Well, we had a job that ended here, and I came to the Wizard Tower in search of information.
And what information might that be, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, Dr. Rooks seems to have quite an understanding on it, but I'm trying to learn more about the planes.
Oh, that's right. You were researching the planes, Dr. Rooks. All right, well, you're welcome to use the libraries as much as you would like. And it's a pleasure to meet you. We don't have very many travelers here anymore. Trade had been kind of halted due to some of the problems that the kingdom was having, but now we're starting to reintegrate a little bit more back into the rest of the continent.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate this, Your Highness.
And if you would so desire, and if you are curious, I'm always looking for people to join the guild. I don't know if any of you are magically inclined.
I am, but I don't know that I want to settle down quite yet. I'm still pretty young.
Well, those in the guild don't necessarily have to stay here. They can also research, and we can help to fund all that. I'm a huge proponent in believing that knowledge is very necessary for a country to continue on to grow.
Well, that sounds like a pretty good deal to me, if you don't mind me thinking on it.
Not at all. Perhaps if you two would like to join us, we're having a small get-together this evening. I'm always willing to welcome new friends into the kingdom.
Well, I wouldn't want to impose, but if Riviere wants to go, I guess I'll join.
I'm always.
Shorty, I love you.
I'm sorry, keep going.
And the best part is Rosario making fun of him for it. Okay. Sorry, what were you saying?
Very tough. I'm always down for food, you know. Food is food. And food is good. Food is food. You know, so I mean, if it wouldn't mess with you guys too much, and if Dovrax doesn't mind.
Alright, I guess we can join. Thank you very much for the offer.
Dr. Rooks also says, also, if there are any gods that you worship specifically, I've made individual small shrines in various parks around Brightstone if you wish to pray.
Thank you.
Sadly, there's not much room for other churches, so shrines were the best I could do.
Well, you know, Ariska, she doesn't quite know what to say because she is kind of unused to a little bit of formality. Well, you know, I imagine that anything helps.
All right. Well, I will leave you to any research you wish to do. Dinner will be in about an hour.
I'll make sure that there are paladins here to come to help you if the two of you need something.
She kisses you on the cheek, Elman, and then walks out the door, pulling her hood back up.
Aw, you are sweet.
Oh, he blushes.
All right. So, are you guys spending more time in the library?
I would want to research.
Yeah, I imagine Reveries just poking around for fun.
Yeah. Dr. Rooks, are you staying and assisting them, or are you leaving?
If no one else needs me, he'll stay and assist them. You know.
Okay.
He respects a couple of kids who want to get their knowledge on.
All right. So, sorry, I'm like trying to sort my brain for a hot second. That was weird. So, Dovrax, as you start poking around, Dr. Rooks, you seem to notice that he's looking for information on different planes. Reverie, what are you looking for? Are you just literally poking around for funsies?
Reverie is totally just poking around for funsies.
Okay.
Whatever looks interesting.
Okay. You find several books on different interesting topics, some on your country a little bit. They seem pretty accurate, but very formal, which is a little weird to you. But you kind of end up sitting in a large armchair, like, not formally at all. Like, thrown over the side of the armrest. Poking your nose in a random book to entertain you for a little bit. So, Dovrax, as you continue to search, you start looking for information on the planes, as Arwinia mentioned. Dr. Rooks, you do notice this.
Sorry, I noticed which?
That it seems that Dovrax is looking for information on, like, the planes.
Okay. If you have any questions, I'll be free. I can help you find anything or answer anything.
Thank you. I kind of just want to get my hands around the subject for right now, but I'll keep that in mind for sure.
No, that's completely fair.
Okay. If you have the character sheet up, would you roll for an investigation check?
Yeah, with advantage. Oh, we don't need the advantage. It's all good.
Okay.
That's what's 21.
So, you easily find several books that talk about the different planes. I'm not going to rattle off the whole thing that I already read to Dr. Rooks if you were paying attention, but essentially,
That's a little metagaming for me to pay attention to things that I wasn't there for, so...
you were literally in the room as Elman.
Yeah, but not Doverax.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so...
I'm just kidding.
So you do find several books that seem to have some information on how Sakuna locked away the planes. And then after a little while, Dr. Rook seeing you poke around these books, he hands you a small journal. And you read it and it seems to reveal a little bit more about that. I don't think you were involved enough in the Charsepta archives to know about their secrets, but...
And Dr. Rooks is not going to share them with an outsider.
No, I agree. I don't know about their secrets.
No, but you get the sense that maybe there's some sort of physical object that Arwinia, like little demi-plane she's trapped in, might be attached to. So, are you also looking for more information on the artifacts of the gods for Reverie?
Yes.
Okay.
I owe her that much.
Alrighty, so with your investigation check, you don't find a ton of information in this library. I don't know what you guys did with Metis's notes and journal.
I still have them in my notes.
Okay, well, I know, but I don't know what the party did with them.
Oh.
Is more what I'm saying. So, I think they were given to Velia at some point, but I don't know what she probably would have held on to them. So you don't find a ton of information on the artifacts of the gods. There's mention throughout the history that you peruse that the gods were rumored to have created artifacts when they kind of stepped into power and became the current, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the words. What is that called? It starts with a C. No, Pantheon. Pantheon.
Oh.
When they became the current Pantheon, but there's not a ton of information in history about it. And you're not finding anything on, like, specific artifacts.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, about an hour passes. Dr. Rooks, it's about time for you guys to head back to you have a dinner date, so to speak.
He looks up at them. He just said, "All right, it's time for the dinner. Would you two like to go, or would you like me to have a paladin escort you to your rooms so you can retire for the evening?"
I think it feels awfully rude to deny a queen her request, so I guess we should go.
Just looks up from her book and she's scribbling up. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. He'll lead you guys outside, and there's already two paladins waiting, and he waves them off. He's like, thank you, Cherise and Clayton. You all can go now. You two can go now.
Hey, you're a very prepared man, Dr. Brooks.
I try. You can never be too safe. Also, when your daughter is the head of the paladins, they kind of don't leave you alone sometimes.
Oh, it's a very fair point.
Yeah, makes sense.
How old is your daughter?
She just turned 14. That was a lovely ball.
Wow. It's, sounds like quite an impressive feat, honestly. Not turning 14, but being head of the paladins.
I mean, depending on the situation, turning 14 is impressive.
Okay, Reverie never spoke truer words from her culture.
Right. No, Reverie's my fave now. That's it. Yeah, it kind of runs in the bloodline. She had a very impressive father at her age.
Ah, well, she has an impressive father now too, so.
And yeah, he just leads them to wherever the party's being held, because I have no idea.
Okay, in the castle.
Okay, cool.
All right, Cass. You spent some time traveling, returning to your home country of Drustolia on the continent of Sawane for some time. You found your country sprung into war with the northern country of Zochana, with pressure from the outlaws and pirates in the southern country, if it could be called that, as it's more of an independent province, called the Ranico Strand. It's a series of islands with one, kind of larger island that has a lot more of the roaming clans and tribes on it. After about 4 months, you decide to return to Brightstone. You walk through the familiar streets, visibly seeing the change in the small kingdom. The people seem happier and content. You pass by a very familiar wizard tower where your group had taken down the Archmage Metis, and you see a familiar figure of Dr. Rooks leading 2 unfamiliar figures. What would you like to do?
I guess I'll wait till they're gone. The
Okay.
figures.
Alright, so you're ducking into an alleyway?
Sure, I mean... Yeah.
Okay, roll a stealth check.
Okay. The roll stuff. What is this? I didn't agree to this. 29.
Yeah, I don't think Dr. Rooks' passive perception's that high.
As perception is 20, so no.
Or reveries.
Yeah.
All right, so you watch them pass and kind of head west towards the castle.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Guess I'll kind of compose myself for a second. And I'll walk up and, yeah.
Oh, so you'll approach Dr. Rooks?
Oh, is he outside or is he inside?
They're walking back towards the castle.
All together? Wait, sorry.
So Dr. Rooks with these 2 other figures are walking back towards the castle.
Mhm.
So you just caught them as they were leaving.
Mhm.
And they're heading toward west along the road.
Okay. I guess I'll just observe until they separate. If they do, I don't.
Okay.
I was say we're all going to the same place.
Yeah. So
I don't know that.
You trailed them
I
for a
know.
little while, and they duck under the main gates and head towards what you haven't seen in a while, but the familiar building of the castle. It seems that the gardens have been built up a lot more. The paladins seem to really be doing well. The guards as well. And you kind of trail them for a little while until they get towards the front door. They speak to one of the guards at the front and begin to enter.
Once I see them start to enter, that's when I'll approach Rooks.
Okay. What persona are you in? Just for the sake of knowing.
I'm a half elven woman with straight red soft hair, light pale skin, and bright green eyes. They have a brown dress that kind of exposes their shoulders on either side, and they look kind of youngish.
Okay.
We've seen this persona before, right? I'm sure we
Yes.
have.
Many
Okay.
times. All right, so Dr. Rooks, out of the corner of your eye, you see a flash of red hair, and at first you're like, oh, Velia, but her hair's lighter, because her hair's a little bit more auburn. But then you see a familiar figure that you haven't seen in a while. Not only as you haven't seen Cass in a while, but you haven't seen this persona in a while either.
Oh, hello, Cass. You two can go inside. Once you go inside, the guards will take you to wherever you need to go. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll be in there in just a bit.
Thank you, Rooks. We'll see you in a little bit.
Thank you. Yeah, see you in a little.
Yeah, Dr. Rex looks at Cass and he's like, is everything alright? Did something happen?
It's sort of, do you mind if we talk in the gardens or somewhere private, or?
Yeah, of course. That's no problem. As he walks with him, he politely asked the guards if they could take a walk so he can talk to his friend in private.
If they could what?
They could he politely asked the guards if they could take a walk so he can speak to his friend in private.
Oh, okay. They do.
Well, how have you been?
I've been fine. We're just gonna.
Have anything changed? Or?
Yes, the city of Brightstone. What's his fucking name? Scalawag. That's it. Scalawag's been
Wow.
been cooking. Shut up. Scalawag's been cooking more. No, it's kind of a folk hero here. I've been helping build things up, getting closer to my daughter, and Helmet has been getting closer to Velia.
And open a music store.
And open a music store.
So they look disappointed at the name of Zai.
I know, right?
It's valid.
I could see that the kingdom's doing a lot better.
You okay?
I'm worried, honestly.
About
my homeland is at war and being attacked right now, and it's kind of putting people I care about in danger over there.
Oh, well, I'm very sad to hear that.
And
I'm sorry to say, I don't think Brightstone is in a place to give people for war, but I will gladly ask if we can get provisions or anything to people in need.
oh no, I wouldn't ask you to put your country at war. I don't want more bloodshed than necessary. But provisions would be nice, I suppose.
I can ask Velia what we can spare. Unfortunately, I don't keep tabs of all of our resources.
I wanted to deal with a smaller issue, and I don't know if this is appropriate, but I wanted to ask for your help.
My help specifically, or the party's help?
Yours and the parties.
Well, what would it be?
There's these pirates who've been attacking my homeland and ransacking any efforts while we're at war, and I wanted to help deal with them and perhaps lessen the stress in my homeland.
I guess I'll add. Yeah, he just says, all right. And how big of a pirate issue are we talking about here? Because they're very powerful, but it'll take more than a couple of adventurers to take down an entire fleet of pirates.
How big are we talking, sorry?
Let me put it this way. It's like a whole culture of like pirates and clans and roaming things. So like you could very easily chip away. You probably wouldn't be able to take down the entire everything, but it's not hard to chip away, especially with the bounties that you've seen. They are putting things out for like smaller stuff that would actually kind of start to help. So, and all the pirates don't necessarily get along, and all the clans don't necessarily get along, so it's not like they're combining and working together in one large force. If that makes sense.
Just dealing with some key figures. Yes.
Well, currently we're having a dinner party, and we're having guests with us. So I think me, you, and Velia should probably talk in private at some point, either tomorrow or the day after.
Okay.
Speaking of, would you like to come in for dinner?
Who will be there?
The entire party, including our guests.
I think I'll skip out for now. I don't think I'm ready.
Right. Let me know if you need anything. And you see he He takes out a piece of paper and he pulls out a little stamp that was a gift to him from Blanca, and you see it's just the symbol of his goddess, but it has like his mask engraved on the front of it, and he hands it to Cass. He's like, if you show this to any paladin, they'll get you whatever you need.
Thank you.
Are those his business cards?
Shut up. Anyways. I'll make sure to tell Velia that you wish to have conference with her. I can find you or send you a message with what day she's available. Right. You have a nice day, Cass. And he's going to just going to politely shake Cass's hand and go back inside the castle.
Shake it back.
Okay. Cass, what are you doing from there?
So I have that gun, right? Just gonna
Yes.
shoot Rips in the back of the head.
Oh,
Yeah, I was about
my
to say,
God.
yeah, just shoot Russ.
That's
Get it
a
over with.
power move. Oh my god.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm just I'm gonna, I don't know, wherever did I stay somewhere or did I just come here?
You just like entered the city.
Okay, yeah.
So,
I'll
but you can
just-
easily find a place to stay.
Cass, you can't have a gun.
I'm just gonna hang around the cat. My voice. I'm gonna hang around the castle.
Okay, so like you hang around in the castle area, or like you're gonna go find like a place to stay.
I'll just look like one of the
Fine.
paladins and just like hang out.
Okay, is there anything specifically you're doing?
No.
Alrighty. Okay, so Dr. Rooks, you are the last person to arrive and a little bit late to the dinner party, but everybody's waiting for you and you guys all kind of sit down. It's you, your party, everybody's there along as well as Blanca and Edna and your two new guests.
Sorry about that. I had to deal with something. Velia, we need to talk after dinner. That's about it.
All right, she just looks at you a little confused. Are you like, how are you feeling right now? Because she would be a little wary.
Dr. Rooks is as casual as he normally is when he says that.
Okay, so he's not like worried or anything?
I mean, the aspect of pirates incredibly close to where they are, worries him, but not really.
That's not anywhere close to where you guys are. The Ranico Strand's right here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said it was here.
No.
Okay, my bad. Never mind.
Sorry.
Let
Let me point out some things. This is the the continent of Swain. This is the oh god, where to go? I'm not gonna pronounce it right. The Ranico Strand is here, and this guy. And then the country of Drustolia, which is where you guys don't know, but where Cass is from, is here. And then the country that they're at war with is Zoshana, which is up here.
Ooh, yikes. Yeah, but he says it casually. This is a war that literally has nothing to do with Brightstone, so he's coming at it casually. It's basically just like someone just hired him for a contract job.
Okay, cool. I was just making sure because Velia is very insightful and would notice if you were like feeling off or anything.
No, I get that.
All right. Well, you guys sit down. You enjoy a very nice dinner that Zai bullied the the chefs in the castle to make even better. Actually, Zai, do you want to roll a cooking check for me?
Maybe. Sure.
You can just do a d20 plus your wisdom modifier plus 4 is your proficiency bonus. Oh, beautiful. Nice. Okay, so Zai bullied the chefs to make the meal even better, adding all the correct spices and the like.
Gordon Ramsay, this shit, man. All you hear from the kitchen, no, it's supposed to be oregano. just put basil in it, it'll be fine.
All right, you burst out with these delicious looking dishes. Oh, Atlanta. So Snud, you did witness a dragonborn and a tiefling walk in. Just letting you know. I don't know how.
What exactly do you think Snud is going to do? Sorry.
Fight him. Fucking fight him.
I'm just saying. Snud's never really seen another dragonborn.
They saw
My
Snud
name
is
is
going to
Dragonborn
jump on the
Supremacy.
table and rush towards Dovarax. Say, oh my god, are you a dragonborn paladin?
No, I am a dragonborn, but no paladin.
Is gonna look like sad and say, why not?
I decided to take a path of magic instead of worship.
He's a nerd, is what he's saying.
Oh, so sorry for
And remember,
you.
he just shoots him a grin as she says that.
I'm so sorry for you. You must have had a terrible life for not being a dragonborn paladin.
I've had quite a good life actually, but everyone lives their own path, and I respect that you did decide to become a dragonborn paladin.
I love how Dovarax assumed.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Do you know any dragonborn paladins? Do you know if more dragonborn paladins will arrive?
I do not. I would doubt more dragonborns arrive. I've actually never seen any besides my parents, so. Well, and you now, of course.
Oh, your parents were dragonborn paladins?
No, they were just dragonborns.
Oh. That's boring. So I've had
Maybe
a very
boring,
boring
but-
childhood.
Maybe. Growing up in the Sandbar Oasis isn't the most exciting.
Let my man's breathe. God.
So what brings you here in Brightstone?
Well, I came to do some research at the Wizard Tower, and then the Queen invited me and Riviera here to a dinner.
No, she's like, yeah, I was doing some research, looking for some items, you know, the use.
Did you find what you're looking for?
I found some of what I'm looking for, but I have much more to look at.
I mean, you know, always looking, you know, just still going.
There's a lot of books in the tower. There's like at least like 5, so it takes some time for you to read them all.
When you're right,
That
you're
is
right.
The sweetest thing I've ever heard.
What was your name again, little one?
I'm Snud.
Well, it's a pleasure
Oh,
to meet
you're the
you,
one for
Stud.
this story.
Yeah, we were actually told to find you by a Dr. Rooks.
Oh, really? You found me.
Yeah, we've done a good job, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's all
Mission
suspicious.
accomplished.
We hope
Yeah,
to live up
maybe-
to the legends we've heard of you.
Hope so. Maybe over dinner
Oh.
you can share a story with us?
Oh boy, can I? And I
He flips over the table and the stage just appears.
I will regale them with story about how we defeated the hags, how I attempted to save a innocent child.
All right. Cece, I will relay this story to you later.
I'm going to the journal.
Okay, so Zai, you burst in carrying all your dishes with help from the kitchen staff. Seeing the familiar faces of your friends and people you've grown to cherish, your beautiful goddaughter and your partner in crime for being a godparent, Edna. But you also do see 2 new people, a blue dragonborn and a tall, kind of spotted purple tiefling. If that's a good way. It's not the best way to describe her, but...
And Zai stops and he counts plates and he just, do we have enough? And he just points, you. Do we have enough place for new people?
The guy like looks at you and just like says, "I will go add more," and he goes and grabs more plates.
Yes. And he's welcome. I hope you enjoy food we prepared.
I enjoy most food, so I am sure I will love this.
Yes.
Aw, character growth, because I didn't jump at a dragonborn.
No, he flinched, but that was about it.
Okay. Oh, I'm so proud. Okay. All right. So you guys all sit down. Have a very lovely dinner. In the middle of it, Velia stands up and kind of just nods at all of you to gain your attention. But she says, I just wanted to thank you all for all of the work that you've done here in Brightstone, and appreciate you for your assistance here. To our new friends, thank you for joining us. We're always happy to have new ones, and to the old friends, I cherish you all very much, but I gathered you here to make an announcement. And she kind of pokes Elman in the shoulder.
Yeah, we did gather you here to make an announcement.
Oh God, she's pregnant, isn't she?
Absolutely not. I wrapped the willy. I am not silly.
You wrapped the willy.
Excuse me? What the fuck did you just say?
He wraps the willy hollow.
Not CC leaving as soon as he said
He
it.
puts the casing on the sausage.
Okay, you can stop.
I really hope that you didn't come up with that yourself and you just stole it from someone.
You've never heard "Don't be silly, wrap the willy"?
No, I've never heard that in my life,
Bro.
and I never needed to.
Alright, don't act like Holo's the weird one.
Oh my gosh.
That's canon now. Just
Yeah, I love all
Hi,
the
I'm about
things
to head
that
out.
Shorty like puts into the vernacular of this fantasy world.
Listen, I'm just trying to be the best shorty I can be on a daily basis.
You definitely are. Don't worry. Velia kind of rolls her eyes a little bit, and says, no, but I did ask him to stay and marry me.
She did, in fact,
That-
put a
Zai
ring on
just-
it.
Zai starts tearing up. Oh, love, doesn't it make your heart flutter?
Oh, that's sweet. Weddings are a waste of money, so I eloped, but it's fine.
Rooks, you just had to go there, didn't you? Now stuff your face and shut your face.
Listen, they're young. They shouldn't waste all their money on a giant.
I got married young. What are you trying to say?
I feel like the
Oh,
queen
God.
can swing a free wedding throughout her own kingdom, so.
The queen of swing.
No, the queen can swing a free
Oh, I
wedding.
heard the queen of swing. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I didn't know that
Oh.
Velia was like really, really great at music and did swing.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
sir.
great. He plays a mean 8 bars, let me tell you.
Yep. Oh my gosh. Anyway, Jesus Christ. I love you all so much. Oh, Atlanta. Okay. But she just looks down and says, yeah, so we're gonna let it sit like this for a little while, but in a little while we will get married.
Have you told your mother yet, Elman?
I have not had a chance, seeing as she is back in our hometown,
Umbra.
Umbra. I could not remember the town.
Would you like me to give her a sending spell?
No, I think I will go tell her in person eventually. Maybe send a nice letter.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, it's so nice seeing the group grow up.
Salivar, I've never
Jesus
known you
Christ.
to be such a crybaby.
And then he's like, listen. Wedding's always soft spot.
Oh, I'll give you a
Your,
hug.
my
Also-
wife and I's wedding was very, very beautiful. The heads of
Also,
our
you-
enemies were everywhere.
That is oddly sweet.
It sounds beautiful.
Yeah, also in their culture, they're literally bonded for life, so that's also a part of it.
I don't quite understand what's the big fuss about the wedding. It's a cake. I mean, shouldn't you just like make babies and then that's it? I mean, there's no real point to have marriage.
Well,
Well,
think about it,
sometimes it
Snud.
makes people feel better.
You also have someone that does adventures and kills dragons with you forever, so...
Yeah, but you could do that without a marriage.
Yeah, but this way is legal.
gotta get those sweet tax benefits, y'all. you think adventuring goes well on taxes?
Well, I
It's
hope
expensive.
Hope you have a very beautiful wedding and a very delicious cake.
I was hoping you would help make the cake, Snud.
Ooh, I am not very good at baking. Perhaps Dr. Rooks can help you.
Yeah,
Been
but
practicing
you
a
have
lot.
you have really good ideas, like healing donuts.
Oh, by the way, I will say that you have figured out how to make healing potion jelly donuts over the 5 months.
I bet you Dr. Rook still failed a lot because my baking check is always fucking garbage. Yeah. Oh yeah, speaking of which, we should probably talk about the potions you made after the session.
Yeah,
Anyways,
we do. I need to give you how many potions you have. All right.
well, congratulations, you two. I'm sure that you guys will be very happy.
That being said, I mean, we have at least a year, so don't worry, but I just want to let you all know, if you feel so inclined to continue on your merry way, you always have a home back here, but don't feel tied down. I don't want to. I know what it's like to feel like you should be traveling and the like. So, I just wanted to make sure you guys know.
Yeah, I would love to have you guys stay here whenever you're in town.
You're not coming with us? You're staying?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay and help rebuild Brightstone, I think. It seems to be what I want to do right now.
Aw, sweet.
I'm gonna miss you, Elman.
I will miss all of you as well. You've become my closest friends.
Oh.
I really
Awkward.
appreciate Reverie and other one just sitting here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reverie is just totally quietly making the weirdest combinations and eating while this is going on.
Yeah, but like you know,
Like,
like in those like movies or video games, like where like your character like goes into a town and they like are hearing the war from the people who have been through it. It's literally that, but I'm on the other side.
Yeah, just awkward eating. The weirdest combinations as well. They don't look good.
Dr. Rooks, I know that you've been mentioning that you're looking at freeing Arwinia eventually. If you need anything for that, please let me know.
Oh no, that's no problem. I already have a place I can check out.
You do? That's new news.
Oh yeah, I did. It was in a book I found. Well, I implied the information from a book I found.
Well, that is very great news. Let me know what I can do to help in the endeavor.
Speaking of, after dinner we do really need to talk though. Now with Elman instead of just the two of us.
Aw, you're including Elvin. All right. So,
Listen, my man says he wants to stay, so he's gonna give him the option.
all right. So, the rest of you, if there's any other conversation you wish to have over dinner,
No.
you just enjoy your lovely meal, spending time with friends and talking with the new adventurers who stumbled into town. After a while, all very overfull because the food was so good. You slip off for the evening. Dr. Rooks, you pull aside Velia and Elman, and she suggests that you meet in her office.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So she kind of sits down on her chair, and motions for you guys to sit, and says, "What was it that you needed to talk about?"
So apparently, Cass came to speak to me, and they said that apparently their homelands are in trouble, and they wish for the party's help to take care of some pirates who are causing a bit of trouble. I also wanted to speak to you as the regent to see if we could send some provisions or aid to the help. To help out the people who are in need. I understand that soldiers are definitely a big no. Any provisions that you could spare would be good, but I also don't know the state of which our resources are. So also, but Cass also said he's fine. They understand that if that you might not be available to send anything.
What was it that they needed the party help on?
She just explains. I don't remember the wording, but I understand it's dismantling some pirate rendezvous that could actually help turn the war around a bit.
Yeah, in the Ranico Strand.
Yeah. And I asked Elman to come because you seem pretty adamant about staying here with your fiance, which is understandable.
I would like to stay. Not that I don't want to help Cass, just I feel like it's my duty to help rebuild this town.
I mean, yes, you're the consort. That's completely valid.
But I think maybe we could offer a position as a traveling researcher to that Dragonborn, and maybe he could help.
I'm not sure what research he could do for that, but if we have his consent, I'll definitely ask him to come. Taking care of pirates seems like it can be a bit difficult, so having someone who can hit things from afar or get rid of cannons might be very helpful.
And that Our Lady, she seems pretty adept.
I'll ask them, but I'm sure that they probably will have requests for joining our group to help things out.
We did offer to pay them in what's the word I'm looking for, honey?
Okay, Zari doesn't know what word you're looking for.
Oh, and fund their research.
Fund their research, yes.
You were so helpful there, my love.
Always willing to help.
All right. This is a difficult situation because I don't know the ins and outs of war, or I've never lived in a war-torn nation. The closest thing I have is the Civil War Brightstone has been in for a long time. So maybe having two people as an outside perspective might help.
Where was it that you said you found information about Avalan?
It was from a book that explained in further detail about how Sakuna got rid of the primordials. And I came to realization that a lot of demi-planes are connected to an object, and Alwinia's book to speak to her was found in a specific place. So I'm thinking of searching there to see if there's anything I can do to free her.
And where is that, if you don't mind me asking?
He explains where it is because I, as the player, do not remember.
It is also in the Ranico Strand, where Cass was asking you to go.
Oh, it's also in the Ranico Stratton, strangely enough.
Her village was at the very, very tip down here.
Haha, yeah, but yeah, it could coincide and help out a lot. Actually, this works out perfectly.
Well, if you would so like, I have some connections in the Claire's Kingdom still. Maybe I could get you to the island of Roberus, as regents of the new Brightstone, and get you a boat.
That works, and it seems like we could also pass through the Sandbar Oasis as well, because I do wish to talk to their leaders about not only this, but apparently that very ominous message we got from the thing that came out of my father.
All right. Well, when would you like to leave?
Well, that would depend on when our two young recruits and Snud and Zylova would like to leave. So I'll worry about that. You two keep doing what you're doing and being rulers and such.
I don't think that'll be a problem.
So is Elman gonna have to wear a circlet? Because I think a bronze would go very well with his skin tone.
Do you think a bronze would look good on me?
Yeah, bronze or silver.
I'll have to try both.
We can definitely get one commissioned. All right, so you guys continue to talk for a little bit about circlets, and is there anything else you guys would like to do for the evening, anyone?
No, I'm good.
Can you repeat the question?
Anything else you'd like to do for the evening?
No, other than not do my nightly training.
Nice. All right.
Train them hands.
Yeah. You head to the little room in your quarters that your wing of the castle that you set aside for training, and do some of your nightly stretches and the like. Blanca joins you.
Shouldn't you be asleep, young one?
Yeah, but I can't miss my nightly training.
Cuts to Dr. Brooks yelling through a window, reading, "Yes, she can. She should be in bed, but she won't let me put her there."
All right. So you guys find your evening's rest. Next morning, you gather around a familiar breakfast table. Reverie and Dovrax also joining you as invitation.
Dr. Brooks isn't going to hold anything back. He's going to explain the entire situation with Cass's request, along with maybe finding Arwinia in the library where the book to contact her was found.
Okay, so Dovrax, that is the first you're hearing of this.
Cass is back?
They might be. I'm not sure they are currently, but they're polite. They're patiently awaiting my answer.
Why aren't they here?
Oh.
Well, they said they didn't wish to spend time with us currently. They're probably doing research on what they can right now. I'm sure as soon as I request their presence, they'll come.
Are you mad at us? Did I do something wrong?
Not. You can never do anything wrong.
Do you know where they are? I've missed them. It's been so long since I've seen them.
Oh, I don't know where they are currently. Like I said, they're awaiting our answer for this mission.
Well, how are we supposed to tell them anything? I mean, if we accept, do we know where to send that information that we accepted?
I have magic. He says simply.
Well, can you just magic them up here? I mean, bring them here?
I could send them. They did not seem to want to interact until after we gave an answer.
Whatever it is, I'm gonna do everything I can to help my pal.
All right, perfect. And he looks at everyone else around the table.
So, just like so you all know, Dr. Rooks is proposing a trip to the Ranico Strand to assist in the endeavor that Cass asked, to help take out some pirates, as well as to travel to the small village where Avalan was born, and possibly see if there is something that Arwinia is attached to there. So, which piques your interest, Dograx.
If you guys would have me and Riviera wants to join me, I would not mind taking up this contract.
You can practically just see like Reverie doing the mental math of like where on the map that is. Like there's numbers and letters just floating around your head mentally. I was, you know what? That would be a lot of boat rides. The last boat ride I went on, I made a friend. B, I really liked it. I think I'm down. You know, Dovrax wants to be there. I think we're kind of like a crew now. So. Yeah,
Wonderful.
I'm good.
Scalawag?
And he just looks at you and he goes, I don't know. He goes, you know what, Rooks? These past few months have been interesting. The fact that there's been no fighting, it's almost been peaceful, you know? Do I want to go back out there where there might be potential fighting, arguing, more bloodshed? And then he goes, oh, what the fuck am I talking about? Of course I want to go.
Perfect. And he just gives a sending to his good friend Cass and says, they all said yes, and Snud wants to speak to you.
Okay. They don't say anything.
Are you telling them where you are, Dr. Rooks?
Oh,
Nope.
yeah, he would say that we're at the castle.
Okay. Cass, what are you doing?
I mean, I guess I have to search the entire castle because that's kind of vague. We're at the
Damn, it's almost like you're a hero and you can just ask for them, but I don't know.
a hero. I didn't do anything. Yeah, I guess I'll search the entire castle until I find them.
I like how there are literally guards who would wait on you tooth and foot because you saved the city, but
I'll look through the entire castle, every room.
Damn it.
Dr. Rook said you could give the paladins the little...
Every room, Zari.
Make an investigation check, Cass.
And I want every room to have a detailed description of what...
Oh no.
The rest of this session is literally just me describing all the rooms of the castle.
That's great.
So walking into the castle, it's pretty like open today. You walk back up the double staircase towards the kind of second floor, poke around a little bit. You hear commotion kind of in the west wing of the castle and make your way that way. It's a familiar booming voice of Xylovar talking excited, and another small voice of Snud answering back. And after about, I would say 10-ish minutes of searching, you manage to find a room that's kind of propped open that has a very good smell of breakfast food coming through.
Sounds good.
All right. On that note, let us take a 10-minute break, and we will be back in 10 minutes to see the reunion of the party. Okay.
Wrong break.
having breakfast, just decided that they were going to take on Cass's request as well as follow Dr. Rooks to possibly free their demigod friend and sent a message to Cass to beckon them to come join them. So Cass, you were standing outside the door hearing everyone eat a lovely breakfast and hearing them laugh outside.
Just walk in, I guess.
All right, so you see the familiar persona of Cass's half-elven female, light red hair, green eyes, walk in through the door.
Dr. looks up and says, "Oh, there she is," and he gestures to Cass at the door.
Snud is gonna rush forward and hug her knees, I guess.
I'm not that tall, so it's fine. I'll hug Snud back. It's nice to see you again, Snud.
And Zai says nothing because Joey died.
Oh no. Joey, come back. Okay, sorry, carry on, Snud.
Where'd you go? Why'd you leave us? Maybe something wrong.
He did nothing wrong, it's not, I promise. I just needed to get away for a little bit. I was not in the best place. Yeah.
Wait a fucking minute, Candle. You asshole changed your fucking into medium tired.
You just noticed that?
You guys noticed that? That happened at the beginning of the session.
Sorry, I just noticed it.
And Shorty was Shorty McTired for a while too.
Stop trying to steal my fucking brand.
I rebranded it.
Sorry, continue.
Okay, sorry, Candle, carry on.
Well, did you find a better place?
Not a better place, but a place where I was able to kind of relax.
Oh, I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you. I'll just pat his head.
And I heard that your home country was in grave danger, and I'd be glad to help.
I'm glad to hear that. Yes, it's under war, right? It's in a war right now. The sovereign country.
Yes. He says, this is Reverie and Dobrax. They'll be joining us. I'm not sure if you know, but Elman is going to be staying here with his now fiance to keep rebuilding Brightstone.
Nice to meet you.
Is Elman here with us in this room? Just so I know. Sorry.
I don't think so.
It's up to you, Shorty.
Say yes.
I will say yes, but I thought Rooks left Velia and Elman alone.
Last night.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I forgot
not here, that's fair.
Did anyone tell him they were meeting?
Dr. Rooks would tell you guys.
Oh, okay. If he knew they were meeting, he would be there.
In that case, Snud is going to whisper to Cass. He's the lame kind of dragonborn, not a paladin.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is he even a dragonborn?
Oh, damn.
I don't know. He says he is, but if he's not a paladin, I don't think I can trust him.
How subtle are you guys being about that conversation?
I don't know how subtle Snud's being, but I'm being subtle.
Like he's trying to whisper, but he's always super excited, so see how loud he can be.
Doverax, what's your passive perception?
I think like a 12.
Do you want us to roll sleight of hand or something? Or?
It's a 12.
Sleight of hand.
I don't
Sleight of
know.
hand?
I'm trying to be subtle.
I don't think Snud's trying to be subtle. So I would say, Doverax, that you hear Snud's side of that conversation, but not whatever Cass says back.
Doverax would pay no mind because children say crazy things.
I can't wait till Bilberak sees this 5-year-old punch a plane in half.
Hello, Reverie and Doberax. I'm Cass.
Nice to meet you, Cass.
Nice to meet you. I'm Reverie, as you know. And like Reverie's still eating, and like I'm saying, it's horrible combinations.
She like puts syrup on like a huge slab of meat and,
Oh, absolutely.
and then tops it in like spicy powder.
Oh yeah.
And Elman.
Hey, Cass. Good to see you.
It's good to see you too. So you're getting tied down here.
Yeah, I just feel like it's my duty to help rebuild here. I mean, we helped break it down, which it needed to be broken down, but now I want to help put it back together.
Okay. Vila's here, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, she's somewhere being queen or whatever they do.
And you're sure about this?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay here for a little while until something else calls me.
Okay.
But we're gonna do whatever we can to help you guys.
I'm a bit worried about the mask as well.
Why is that?
I mean, they threaten someone I care about.
They give you any reason for threatening that person? Or did they just threaten it randomly for some reason?
They wanted me to do a job, and I refused.
Was that while you were gone or while you were here?
While I was gone. Yes.
I mean, in our line of work, it doesn't really surprise me that even an organization like this would do things like that. So I'm not gonna say. I mean, I definitely believe you that it happened.
And they also caused the war between my home continent, my home country, and the other one. I don't know how to phrase it.
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I have any idea what's going on over there, but I assume you have some pretty decent proof.
Mm-hmm.
And frankly, it's not super surprising. That's what they do sometimes, I guess. I don't recall that ever happening in this branch, and I don't know that branch.
Yeah, so Elman, you don't recall stuff like that happening in the branch that you're in. It's typically more like what you and Velia did here in Brightstone and what you did in, I'm blanking on the name of the town that you helped save, the small kingdom.
Pingus.
Yes.
Like penis.
Oh my god.
I'm
Anyway.
proud of you, Shorty.
The town. That's how I only remember the town name. Pingus, like the penis. Okay, moving on.
Anyway, and so it's a little odd to you that they would start a war because typically they're focused on keeping the people at peace. And it's also like you've heard people in the mask threaten other people before, but it's typically like rare, and it's usually something that gets taken care of after.
Well, Cass, I think I will work with this branch of the mask to see if we can figure out what's going on in your country's branch.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, because I really don't think that we've ever done anything like that, but I don't know yours, obviously.
For what I've seen, I don't think your branch has done that.
But I'll do what I can on that front, and we'll help with the pirate and other invaders on the other front as best we can as well.
And you've all agreed to this? Correct?
Yeah. I believe so.
I'm sorry for having to leave you all.
That's no problem.
And Cass just kind of sits there awkward. I don't know what to do or say.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Well, how did you get back to your home country? Do you have a boat? Can we take your boat?
I do not own a boat. Why can I not use words today? I purchased passage to here.
Oh, did it drop you directly in Brightstone?
No. It took me to the Claris scheme, I'm assuming, right?
No, it took you to.
Or did it go all the way around?
No, right here,
Alright.
up here,
Oh,
up
okay.
north is a small port city.
It took me to the. What the fuck is that? Renzel Mountain? Cag Renzel Mountain.
No, that was pretty close. So.
Cag Renzel
The-
Mountains.
It might be faster for us to just go there instead of going all the way back to Clarius Kingdom.
Is it? I have no idea.
Going to the Ranico Strand, it's actually a lot easier to travel via land to over here.
But it's easier if we go where?
So there's a port city up here,
Yeah.
and so it was easy for you to head back over to your hometown over here. This is the Ranico Strand down here.
Oh, I see what you mean. It'd be
So
easier
my-
if we went from the bottom instead of the top.
Yeah, and actually, it's only 65 feet.
Whoa. Man, these continents are really close. I don't even know if these are considered continents, and it's barely any space.
Small rooms. And actually, Dr. Rook's Velia had said that she could get you passage on a ship.
Yeah, we can get a boat down to the port city that can lead us to the continent. I need to speak to the people at the Sandbar Oasis anyways, about something.
Okay.
So it's gonna take what, like 30 days travel from Brightstone all the way back to Ignis?
Will it, DM?
Take a year.
I would say it's about 3-ish weeks. If you move at
Okay.
a decent pace.
Hey, 1 month, yo.
Is that including if we stop at the Steinbauer races?
Oh, no. That would be like another week and a half.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh boy.
Well, if we go, when do we want to go? Like, today? We could go today. Let's go now.
I'm also ready to go whenever everyone else is. I'm sure you guys have things you want to finish up, loose ends, tie down.
Yeah.
We can leave tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Is that okay with you, Doverax and Reverie?
Oh yeah, I can
Oh,
wait
yeah,
today.
of course.
I got nothing else to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just hanging around.
Dr. Rooks nods, and as he gets up, he's like, "All right, I have to go say hi to an old friend," and he's going to head out.
Cass is gonna resist the urge to follow them.
All right. What are the rest of you doing? Just
Bud is going to give Cass what he's been working on for like ever.
That delayed
Okay.
fireball.
Yes.
all right. So, anything you'd like to say as you hand this package to Cass?
I've been working on it for like so long because you're like a super good friend of mine, and I wanted to make sure that you were protected and that you were always victorious in battle and stuff. So here you go.
Spell
Yeah.
magic on it.
I hand him over a dagger of venom.
Like the Spider-Man?
Sure.
Do I? Or wait, I don't. How do I do that? Or are you gonna add that?
It's-
Sorry.
I can. It's just a normal like item, I think.
Is that
Yeah.
dagger? Oh, dagger of certain death, right?
No.
Yes, that's the one. That's exactly the one.
I can pull up your character sheet if you want me to.
No, I already added it.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I got distracted by dagger of certain death.
No, not that one.
Where's that? Thank you. Actually, modified one of the things you gave me. Oh my god, this is crazy. Jesus.
Snud has been working on that for you since like Pignus.
More like penis, I mean.
I
I'm sorry, I'm
My
sorry.
God.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help it.
Just wait until my next project, man. It's gonna be a doozy.
Actually,
it's an atomic bomb that does 1d100.
I slightly changed the item you gave me, the cloak. And now I can make real clothes. So, thank you for that as well.
It was nothing.
I'm just pats, not on the head. And then stab them with the dagger they gave.
Oh my
You can
gosh.
try.
You can try.
Roll for an attack. You're gonna have to be like what? Like a 22 now?
Gee, 30. Oh, that's a sneak attack. I was like, what the fuck?
That's a miss.
I think an 8 hits. I don't know if I was
No.
But really quick, does it do
The 23 hit. Let's go at it. Let's go at it. Now divine smite at like 7th level.
7th level? Fuck off. Paladins do not have fucking 7th level spell slots.
So really quick, does the dagger just do poison damage?
You have no idea. Yeah, it does.
Alright. I won't know until she stabs Dr. Rooks with it.
Yeah.
Right, enough with this awkward moment, and let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Rooks is going to say hi to an old friend.
Alright, so Dr. X, where are you going?
You guys see Dr. Rooks walking down the street, and you see he presses a couple buttons on, a building, and the runic doors open. He just says, "It's time." He just says, "It's time, old friend," and you just see Black Rose with a bunch of horses in a barn.
Oh my
I hope you
God.
did what I suggested.
Wait,
Yeah,
what
I
did you-
actually. Oh yeah, you did suggest getting horseshoes for Black Rose.
Yeah.
They're horseshoes of speed. They just make Black Rose faster. We can talk about that later because I completely forgot about that.
It's all good. It was a dumb idea.
But you just see Black Rose, except Black Rose is with a bunch of other weirdly buff horses. Yeah, Black Rose has just been vibing with other people as strong as her.
Super buff horses.
So basically, he's just getting Black Rose ready for the travel tomorrow. That's it.
Alrighty. Okay, any other preparations people would like to do? Yeah, I mean, like, I assume you stock up on, like, food and get all your shit and traveling gear ready.
Yep,
Oh, that's right. Cass just sleeps on the hard ground. No bedroll.
Wait,
I-
who
that
said
would
that?
You've never had a bedroll in your stuff. We had this whole conversation, like, on our way to the Sandbar Oasis.
Oh, I don't remember that, but I mean, sounds like a thing.
Oh my god.
I would like to buy like 20 volumes of storybooks or something.
20 volumes of storybooks. Alright. Are you putting those in the bag of holding?
Sure.
Okay, I'll say that. Hold on, I'm thinking. I'll say that runs you like 10 gold pieces.
Okay.
So sorry.
Okay, got my guy.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody doing anything else in preparation before they leave?
Dr. Rook has something he wants to do later that evening, so he's going to wait.
Anyone? All right.
I don't have
You
it.
learn.
Okay, so Zai says he's getting his axe down off the wall and sharpening it, and making food for the road.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Sorry, choking.
Mode.
I'm gonna resist saying it.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't even say it,
I mean,
so
we were all
you don't even know what I was gonna say.
We were all thinking it.
What?
Well, I was going to say, God, I wish that were me, but I
No, my God. See, look, they have completely different expectations from me.
I'm sorry. There was a French fry caught in my throat. Okay.
How do you choke on a French?
Because I'm sorry. That's just what I do, okay? I'm a disaster. Okay. So, the rest of you continue to prep. Dr. Rook's evening falls. Where would you like to go?
I'm going to do that thing we just talked about and go to the church and go to a Church of Seers, one of the more spiritually charged ones.
Okay, so the very, very large one where you killed Father Martin.
Yeah, sure, that one.
So
Church of Satan.
Oh my god. So you it is being reformed currently. You helped particularly in less corrupt people working there, and you put a kind gentleman in charge who has been kind of running it, very peaceful. Elven
Oh,
guy.
sorry. I also meant to tell you that guy who who Dr. Rook's almost killed in the city because he was there when his husband was killed. He made him Blanca's number 2 for the Paladin Guards.
Ooh, yeah, I like that. I'm totally blanking on his name. I could probably find
Because
it.
he seems to want to do better, and like he has a strong heart, etc. And I'm assuming Dr. Rooks knows that he's adept in some magic, so he just makes him Blanca's number 2.
Yeah.
They have a very serious conversation about how I'm putting you in charge of something I love.
I don't know where his name went. It's fine.
It was
Okay.
Bob.
I remember his name was literally just meant coward of the sun. That's the name we came up with.
Hold on. This is gonna bug me now. I don't know why I don't have it in like my.
I have it in my notes right here.
Do you
His
really?
name is Bob.
Oh my
That's
god.
it.
Anyway. Did we pin it? Because I remember we pinned
His
a
name
lot of
is
names.
Jeffrey. Jeffrey Sortum.
Jeffrey.
With a G or yeah, G. Joffrey.
Yeah,
Poor guy.
He made Jeffrey Blanca's number 2, and he is also learning how to be a paladin.
Okay, beautiful. Alrighty. So you head into the church. There's not much going on right now, but you walk into the main sanctuary, which was filled with smoke and low-lying mist several months ago, and see the familiar light shining through the stained glass windows. It's completely empty right now.
He looks up and he looks around. He's like, Ebony, I know you're here.
Okay, you get a familiar, like, annoyed, but also, like, affectionate feeling behind your right shoulder.
And he sees a little luminous sparkle of lights, not really formed. But he's like, he kind of clears his throat. He's like, I know. He was just like, I want to speak to him now. Get your brother here right now. I don't want to take no for an answer. I wish to speak to him.
For the sake of this, make a wisdom check.
Just roll my wisdom. Okay. It's an 11.
All right. So, you feel her leave for a moment, and then you feel her come back, and it's almost like a staggering feeling, like she staggered back into your presence. And she actually kind of formulates a bit of, like, you can actually see like an orb almost in a little bit of her face, and she speaks to you and says, I actually couldn't reach him. There's something blocking me.
He thinks for a second, and we're just going to It's just like, how I use Yarwin needs to be used for an emergency. I just wanted to see if he had answers for what happened. Is there anyone else who you think would know, who you think would have answers?
I don't know.
Oh, hold on. I need to pull up the Pantheon list again really quick. I don't remember where it is. Here it is. Here it is. It's like, I don't know your, here we go. I don't know your, relationship with, I guess, your uncle, your, nephew, Arthosis. Could you speak to him?
I mean, I did leave the Pantheon, and he's the one who approved. I don't know how well that would work.
And he's like he's sighing. He's like, all right, well, there's clearly something wrong. Do they know that something is wrong?
I'll speak with Sakuna.
All right.
There clearly is something wrong.
And with that said, he leaves the church. And he was like, also, tell Kitsune, I didn't get to tell her this. Tell her I said, thank you for letting him see me.
All right.
Yeah, you thought I forgot about that stupid kiss he gave me when I brought it back to life. Sorry.
No, I didn't think that.
No, I know.
You get a sense of like amusement, and the presence of your goddess fades for a moment.
And he big leaves the church with no answers. He's not happy about it.
Alrighty. So you make your way back to the castle.
Black Rose is set up in the stables.
Okay. So you spend your evening spending time with those that you were leaving behind. Enjoy a nice dinner. Get a good night's sleep. As you guys, as you and Blanca are doing your evening, like, workout before bed, she kind of looks and waits for a moment when Dr. Rooks isn't in the room. And then she, like, tugs on your shirt and says, Zai? Joey, are you dead?
I can't believe Joey died.
Oh, man.
Hey, it's me, Zai.
Maybe he's getting his... I thought he was fine. His computer came back on. I see him in the roll 20.
Hello, it's me, Sai. I have unresolved trauma.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, this can wait, I guess. Joey, can you hear me?
Joey, if you could hear us, don't say anything.
Hello?
Sadly, we cannot hear you, Joey.
Something?
Yes.
I'm
I'm
aware
aware
now.
now. Okay. Is your mic working? Leave and come back? Check your settings.
Is your mic set to your mic on your settings?
Yeah, sometimes when I restart my computer, it like fucks with the settings there.
Also, make sure you're not muted.
He's
They're
not.
Okay.
Or push to talk.
It's fine, guys.
don't-
I think I like Zalo vibe better this way.
Yeah.
Oh my
Just couldn't read.
god.
Here. We'll just have Rosario act out whatever Joey types out.
I mean, that would be funny. I'm down.
I'm down.
Please don't put me on the spot like this.
We're putting them on the spot. This
We're
guy.
putting you
Oh
on
my
the spot
God.
like
This
this.
is what you get for doing Russian
Joey, fix
accents.
Joey, fix your stuff.
Yeah. Rosario.
It's fine. You'll do fine.
Hello. God damn it. Yes, little one.
From the chest hairs, Rosario. Come on.
Yes, little one. Hello, I am Zylovar. Fucking now. What do you guys
That's
want from me?
good. Come on.
That was actually really good. Okay. I think that it'll be really good for Dad to get back on the road, and even though I'll miss him, but she like looks super troubled. When I spend time with him, it seems that he like seems really sad still, and it hasn't changed in the 5 months since everything worked out, but he keeps telling me that nothing's wrong. I'm hoping that traveling again will help him, but maybe when you're on the road you could talk to him about it and get him to tell you what's wrong. I mean, you are his best friend. We are waiting for Joey to type. Rosario, would you do the honors?
Oh, is that what he was saying? I didn't understand.
Gotta put quotation
yes,
marks
have-
there.
yes, I have must answer questions for him.
What do you mean?
I have no fucking idea.
What is that sentence? I must answer. It's so
Those
funny.
are the questions that you said that Zai could ask you any 3 questions. He's only used 1.
Oh, okay, there was no punctuation anywhere. I had no clue. That would be okay. Don't worry, little one.
Okay. Thank you, Zai. I'm gonna miss you too. And then she gives you a gigantic big hug.
Yes, I am weeping now.
Okay. So you guys fine. Is there anything else anybody would like to do?
Watch everyone sleep.
Kat, what did you say, Hello?
Nothing. This is a joke. I'm just gonna go sleep.
No, I didn't actually hear what you said.
I said watch everyone sleep.
Oh my gosh.
I
was
will
joking.
actually. It would have been a fucking power move if you all suddenly had to talk to Zylovar.
Okay. You all find your evening's rest. And rise a little bit early. Take a quick breakfast and then get all packed into Dr. Rooks's, Black Rose's carriage and get some horses from, your friends who can definitely supply those for you.
What do you mean her parents doesn't pay no bills in here? No, I'm kidding.
And you set off on the road.
Road again.
So you travel a little ways outside of Brightstone. It takes about 3 days to traverse Brightstone. You're traveling with a couple new companions. If there's any conversation you want to have on the first couple nights.
So, Reverie, what do you do?
Oh,
Are you like super smart or like super fast?
I'm pretty fast. I'm pretty damn fast, especially when I want to be. Well, I guess you would call me a monk. I grew up and shit, how do you pronounce this? Ex-canons.
That was exactly right.
Shit. Let's see. I grew up in ex-canons, a monastery there, and now I am on, I guess you could call it a quest. I mean, it feels a little silly calling it a quest, for a friend of mine, and I'm finding some items for her.
Oh, what kind of items?
Mainly magical ones. I don't quite get it, but I think she thought it was something to get me out of the town.
So you're a monk. Do you like fight with your hands or with a weapon, or do you even fight at all?
I do fight. I think I'm all right at it. I've definitely had my low spots. I actually got knocked out by a giant a few months ago. It wasn't fun. I was back up in a little bit, but I mainly fight with my fists. If I want, it can be pretty shocking.
Oh, Joey.
It worked.
Joey's back. Also, that shocking joke hurt my soul a little bit.
Oh, what?
She made a joke that if she wants to, her fist can be a little shocking.
Ah! I've heard of the shocker.
I don't get it. You need to explain it to me. Sorry.
Oh, don't worry. Her class literally
I'm
allows
kidding.
her to. Okay. Just say
it. It's a double entendre. That's what that is.
Oh my gosh, Joey.
Well,
Anyway.
if we have time, can you show me your skills? I would love to fight you.
What? Sure.
Oh my god.
Just to make it fair, I won't use any weapons. And yeah, I'm well aware Stun is going to be destroyed.
I was about to say, in round 1, Snut's gonna be like, what the hell happened?
To be fair, you do have a shit ton of AC and HP.
It's true.
There's I mean, I always love a good spar. I used to have a really fun sparring buddy back in the monastery, but I've been away for a bit. So it'll be good.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Go.
So
Really quick. I'm assuming that Snud is not proficient with these hands, correct?
I mean, no. I don't think so.
Well, everyone is proficient in these hands, technically.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You mean?
Okay. I'm
You
sure
mean
that I
these
probably
hands?
can't. I'm sure I can't do this in a real battle, but to make things a little more fair, Dr. Rooks is going to cast a holy weapon on Snud's fist.
What does
Wait,
that
holy
mean?
weapon? Oh my god, no, that's disgusting.
That's
I
disgusting.
mean, what is that?
It's fucking disgusting, is what it is.
Oh, I meant to cast a spell. Sorry.
What does
It's
that mean?
such a strong spell.
Oh, it's only strong if you use on a weapon you have proficiency in. Calm down.
Why would you use a weapon you don't have proficiency in?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I
thank
got
you.
it for that. So Snud's just gonna add that to his fist, which fucking reverence can already do 1,000,000 times more.
Holy crap! If I hit and I do my divine smite on top of that, I might just one-shot her.
Jesus.
Well, Yeah, but
Like,
Snud.
she
Yeah, but
has
Snud
to
wouldn't
be-
do that.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so Snud, Dr. Rooks just sighs. You guys are like around a campfire at this point. Dr. Rooks just sighs, walks over and casts a spell on your fist, and your fists start glowing.
Oh, what happened to my hands?
This'll even up the playing field a bit because monks are very good at using their fists.
I do consider myself good at using my fists.
I mean, I don't want to cheat.
I mean, it's not really cheating if you're on par with her.
Are you okay with this, Reverie? I mean, I'll only do it if you're okay with this.
Come at me. I got knocked out by a lightning giant. Good.
You got
Alrighty.
knocked out by a what?
If you're sure.
Big hit
Boy.
me with lightning force. It wasn't fun. I'm better at it now. I can take lightning a lot more. Listen, I got knocked out once. I decided never again. Not getting hurt that bad by lightning ever again.
And then she
Which is even
loses to
funnier.
lightning damage.
No, I literally want you guys to know it's even funnier because now she's resistant to lightning damage. So she's saying what she's saying is true. To answer the question you sent me, Cece, the answer is yes.
You
Fantastic.
can kill Snud? What? Why would you ask that question?
No, no
that's-
fit's a better question. Alrighty. So, who are you guys like? Do you want to roll for initiative, or do you want to just like who wants to go first in a friendly spar?
You can go first. I have no mind. I already know I'm gonna die, so just go ahead.
Sure. I'll go easy on you in the first hit.
I'm getting some intense music for this. Alrighty, so squaring up, you two kind of like look at each other, and Snud like tells you that you can go first. All right, Reverie, what are you doing?
Well, I'm doing what I'm good at. I'm punching and I'm punching a lot. I'm gonna use Flurry of Blows along with this, so this will be 4 hits, I believe.
I thought you said you was going easy.
Yeah, I thought you said going easy too.
Oh, trust me, I could go worse. I could do worse.
Yeah, she totally could. Alrighty, so go ahead and roll your 4 hits. Okay, so your Snud, what's your AC?
21.
All right.
Oh, only
so-
one? Jeez.
Are you still? Do you still have your shield on you, or are you dropping it?
Oh, that's a good point. No, I'll drop my shield, so I would be at what?
19.
18?
18.
Check it out.
Do you have a +1 shield?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Wait,
Yeah, so
wait.
18.
Shields are
18.
plus. Shields are +2, and then if you have another +1, it's +3.
Yeah, so 18.
Oh, he's at 21.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's not your friend today.
All right. So the first hit, you punch Snud square in the chest, and it just clanks off his arm, and you're like, "Ow!" and wiggle your fist a little bit. Coming in with another hook, managing to get him kind of in the shoulder. Your first flurry of blows, you punch him straight, like in the side of the head, and then he like ducks under a little bit. It's a little weird fighting somebody who's like 3 feet tall. And so your second flurry of blows just goes a little to the side. So go ahead and roll damage for the first one, and then roll damage for your second one, plus your, I think, 2d8 for lightning damage.
Yeah, let me check in a moment. I can't remember if it's 2d6 or 2d8.
I'm trying to remember too. Shorty, do you
It's
remember?
2d6.
2d6,
It's
okay.
2d6, yeah, and then I'll roll the 2d6 on top of that.
Beautiful.
And then it's-
That's 16 points of damage.
Nope, not quite. And then, so, Snud, the first one hits you, and you get punched. The second one, when it hits you, you feel a shock of lightning go completely through your body, and you take additional damage from that. So that is a total of 22.
Okay.
All right. Anything else, Reverie?
I think that'll be it for now.
Okay, Snud.
That was so cool. Do it again.
I can do it again.
Yeah, Snud is just gonna pass his turn.
Because he's so excited about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Reverie.
You know what?
I almost threw hands with a 12-year-old.
Reverie gonna click her heels.
Okay, so that's your bonus action.
Yep. And that'll be, let's see, let's roll to hit 3 times.
3 times. Wouldn't it just be twice?
Nope, she clicked her boots.
Well, that only did 1 for some reason. I don't know.
Just click it again. Sometimes it's finicky.
Yeah.
One more. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so Snud, you watch as she clicks her heels together, and she is suddenly a blur. You can't see her. She is moving so fast. Somehow you manage to. She's trying to get used to the new speed. It's actually the first time I think you've used these, Reverie.
Oh, yeah.
And so you miss on the first punch, but the second and the third manage to hit. And Snud, you don't even see them coming. So go ahead and roll damage. These are all just straight damage, but you do get to add an extra, I think, whatever your damage modifier die is for the critical hit.
Sorry, my brain's being dumb. 2 and then an extra d8.
Yep. Okay, so Snud, you take a total of 13. Bro, 20. 20 damage as Reverie comes out of nowhere, like, stupidly fast.
It's stupidly fast.
Wow, you weren't kidding. You really are super fast. My turn now, and Snud will attack. Unarmed strike. 13.
That does not hit.
Alright. 20.
That does.
Alright, so I'll roll those 2d8s.
Wait, do you get radiant damage to your fist? I didn't even realize paladins work that way.
Yes. I
Wait,
do.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
from your paladin!
Yeah, because you get a
Oh my God.
1d8 because you whatever.
You know, maybe giving him that 2d8 was a little too much.
Reverie, I don't know
4
what your
points of
AC
damage.
is, but don't forget you get a +2 when you click your heels or your boots
Oh, I do,
together.
yeah. That still hit.
And I'll use Divine Smite.
Oh, what
Alright.
level? What level?
Level 1.
Aw,
I thought it was
Level
a,
1.
I thought it was the 1d8 on the free one.
it is.
Sorry, what?
Oh, I see. I'm sorry. I'm AFK in the brain, dude. I'm eating chips.
It's like
Alright, so another 3 points of damage.
Okay, so that's 10, 19. So the first one, Reverie, you're too fast. You duck out of the way. But then Snud calculates a little bit better and just manages to sock you straight away in the shoulder. The punch doesn't necessarily hurt, but a whole butt ton of radiant damage comes straight through his punch. And you take I just told you, 19 points of damage.
I'm just kind of, well, okay, yeah, you got a little bit of power behind that, ain't ya?
I'm
Alright.
better with the sword, but these hands, yeah, they do some damage.
Yeah, they're ready to be for everyone. I like it.
Not say these hands.
Guys, we can't keep doing this. We can't keep putting things into the canon in this
Hey,
fantasy world.
We're
please.
making this world more dynamic.
I love it. All right, Reverie, what are you doing? Or wait, Snud, is there anything else? Any bonus action?
I don't think so, but let's double check.
Anything else you want to do?
I'm good.
All right, Reverie.
Yep, I am going to use another flurry of blows, so this will be 5 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
So I'll do your first 3 as your regular attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going, babe. It's taking a second. Alrighty.
Is that
So-
5?
Yeah, that's 5. So your first 3 hits go. You managed to land 2 on his armor, but managed to kind of get into a chink with your second hit. Your first flurry of blows goes wide, but your second lands pretty true. So go ahead and roll 1 damage and then 1 damage with your additional lightning damage. I love the idea that Zai is 110% refereeing this right now.
Is this taking or not? Let's see.
Sometimes the extension is dumb.
Don't worry, it's just my country bumpkinness.
I said y'all are boomers.
And then the
Oh.
2d6.
It was just 2 hits. So, Snud,
Yeah. Oh god. I
oh, it rolled 3 because it's dumb. Oh, that's not your fault. So Snud, she lands 2 hits on you, the familiar lightning strike on the second, and you take a total of 30 damage.
All right. All right, cool. So odds. I'm just gonna roll a d4 real quick to see what he would do. Okay. So he's gonna attack again. On even, Snud would just use lay on hands to heal himself back up. So does a 24 hit?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll use I'll use Divine Smite again. So that's 5d8s to calculate everything.
Yeah.
So that's another
30.
That's another 30 damage.
Oof.
And Snud will attack again.
Yes. Finish her, Snud.
You're close.
Oh,
my
yeah.
God!
Divine Smite.
Finish.
Oh
her,
my
Snud.
God.
Outbox the monk.
Oh.
It's unheard of.
Well, it's time for 48, my guy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's out.
Wait. Oh man.
Oh my! Oh God, she is very out. Okay, so he lands a hit. Super excited about being able to punch. With a monk, his fists super radiant. Dr. Rooks, you see it coming just a little too late, and you realize that maybe it wasn't the best idea to give him that ability.
No, he doesn't regret anything.
Okay. But Reverie falls unconscious.
Dr. Rooks will heal her. Good old-fashioned cure wounds.
Excuse me.
Reverie
Actually,
gets
Snud is going to use lay on hands on Reverie, if that's okay with you, Dr. Rooks.
Oh, never. I already rolled it, but if you stop him, he won't do it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I'm gonna
Go
use
ahead.
all of my lay on hands to
Aw.
heal.
How much do you have? Like 100,000 or something?
Pretty much.
It's like a ridiculous.
Let's check it out. I don't know how much I have. That's 55 HP.
Oh, that's
Oh,
really
right.
funny. 55 is the pool I can use for my channel divinity.
All right, so Reverie, you like fall unconscious from this blast of bright light, and then you come back to consciousness, gasping for air, like almost a second later, with Snud like reaching down and like touching your shoulder.
Woo, that was great. Good job, dude. She just kind of like puts a hand on his shoulder and lifts herself up. And
That was a great fight, Reverie. I'm sorry if I hurt you.
oh, it's okay. You know what? I've taken worse. At least, there's nothing to get infected here, so good. Just kind of shakes his hands. Good fight though, dude. I mean, really, really radiant damage, huh? It's good.
Yeah, I feel like I was cheating. I shouldn't have gotten that help from Dr. Rooks. That was
No,
unsportsmanlike
you're good,
of me.
dude. You're good, dude. You give all you can, and then you just keep working from there. If you're not giving all you can, then there's really no point to doing it,
And Zai is just there, like,
Or we just kind of straightens herself up. She's like, yeah, that was good. I missed having a good friendly fight.
yeah.
Reverie at this point your boots fade a little bit. Do you need to make a roll? Did I say you did? I don't remember.
You definitely had need to,
Yeah,
because I said so.
I think so.
I don't know.
Paste.
Yep. Okay, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Reverie, this will be the first of many bad ones, I'm sure.
Oof. Okay, so now that she's having this conversation with you, she's still like moving unnaturally fast, and then suddenly she like freezes up, and like you're just staring at her for like about 6 seconds, and then she relaxes and like looks a little woozy, stumbling a little bit.
Oh my god, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I was moving fast. I think going a little that fast isn't safe for me in the long run, but I'm good.
Well, maybe we should have Dr. Rook look you up.
I'm good. You know, like I said, I've had worse. Other than just like a woozy head.
Okay, if you say so.
Just remember,
that
gives
right.
2 big thumbs up.
Can't wait for us to find out that Reverie actually easily gets motion sickness.
Not quite. It's her boots.
I know.
Yeah, well, you know what? Maybe.
Alrighty. So the two of you and Zai, who's refereeing, rejoined the rest of you guys who were watching in fascination by the fire.
Yep, he just raises Snud's hand in victory. Says, "You're a winner."
I will cheer.
Yeah,
What?
I'm the bestest Dragonborn paladin ever.
Shorty, what did you say?
I will cheer for Snud.
Alrighty. You guys enjoy your evening around the fire. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
No.
What time of day is it again?
It's like 8 o'clock at night. You guys had
Okay.
just like finished up.
Yeah, we should
Are there-
probably, we should
Are there-
probably start taking watches.
Are there any good trees around that one could like conceivably sleep in?
Make a perception check.
Got it. In a memento. That's an 8. That's not 1.
Not that you see. There's not like a ton of trees in the area. It's a little mountainous, kind of foresty, but not anywhere near you.
Reverie's kind of huffs.
Zai gets all excited and he goes, "Speaking of threes, I made jerky."
Ooh, what?
That sounds delicious, and I totally see the correlation.
He just has tree bark in his hand and thinks
Jerky.
it's jerky.
Yes, tree bark in his hands. Because, yes. It's a big crunchy.
Alrighty, so you guys enjoy tree bark jerky?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Trying culinary experiment.
Oh
Um,
my Santa.
I'm assuming we're camping here tonight, right?
Camping, walking, I don't know.
Those are 2 different things.
Alright, I'll take your silence as a yes. I can take first watch. All of you should get some sleep.
Zai's gonna take first watch with Rooks.
Alright, so the rest of you find your evening's rest. You guys take the first watch. It's a pretty peaceful area. You're still within the kingdom of Brightstone. Is there any conversation you want to have?
Yep. And Zai turns to Rooks and be like, "So Rooks, how have you been since we took out your demon daddy and everything?"
Hi. No, I'm fine.
And then he gets all serious, like he
I will
put
give you
his hand-
advantage on an insight check, Zai.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Rooks is lying through his teeth.
So-
and actually, as he starts saying that, hold on one second. As he starts saying that, like, you start to see a familiar, like, magic seeping out from under him, and he visibly, like, breathes in and it sucks back inside.
So Zai puts his hand on his shoulder, and then he goes, "No, really, how have you been?"
Fine. There's nothing to be upset about. I get to see my daughter again. Remember, you jumped up the tree and just punches rocks.
As one does.
See, you're getting a long rest. You're fine.
She's been trying to get the drop on him for so long.
This whole time.
That's hit dice.
She finds
All right,
her
now,
and
but,
just absolutely punches the shit out of him.
Dr. Rook says, I mean, there's nothing to be upset about. I got my daughter back. Everything worked out. Everything is fine. Yeah, killed my father.
So Zai turns to him and he goes, "You're gonna make me do it. Then I'm gonna use one of my questions. Why you been sad boy lately?"
What did he ask?
He says, "You're gonna make me use one of my questions. Why have you been a sad boy lately?"
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. The accent very strong. He's like, I'm not sad. It's fine. I don't have anything to be upset about. I killed my dad, and yeah, I watched him die in front of me, only to find out he was innocent. Apparently, he's been taken over for my entire childhood. But there's nothing I can do about that. Clearly, he felt bad about that. And then I saw my daughter die, and then I watched my best friend die, and then Cass left because I'm a terrible person, but I can't control other people's actions. It's perfectly fine.
He just like,
It doesn't help that I'm consistently having dreams about everyone I care about dying, because for whatever reason, anytime I get involved, they die. And it doesn't help that I've had dreams of all of you dying as well, because of your weird lust for battle, which Cass did have a fair point about. It also doesn't help that this magic keeps seeping out of me, but I keep it inside of myself, because if I don't hold everything in, everyone will get hurt. So I'm perfectly fine just sitting here.
and he like awkwardly hugs Rooks. It's going to be all right. Don't, Brooks. If this adventure has taught us anything, is we can overcome anything. You, we, Snud, we will all be fine. You must believe, because if you don't believe, then the worst will happen. As long as you believe we'll be okay, then we'll be all right.
You won't be, because I'm here, and every time I'm around someone, they die.
Rooks.
My husband found me, and he was killed. My father believed in me, and he was taken over, then killed. I came to my daughter's aid, and then her and Edna were killed.
But they're still alive because we saved them. I'm still here. You came across me. I am still here. Am I going to die? I can't say. It's all on whether or not Kavaki wants me to die. But as long as we have each other's backs, in battle and in life, we will be okay.
When you see that, you see he kind of like breathes out very heavily as the magic seeps out. But you see he literally sucks it back in again. But as he does, his body like pulsates with the weird life, and he like holds on to his chest like, oh god, that hurts a lot. It's fine, I'm fine. He is not letting go.
What is that magic that you're holding on to?
It's nothing. It's just I just got tied to my emotions, so if I'm upset, they can go haywire. It's fine if I just hold everything in. Nothing bad will happen.
Or maybe you can let go.
I can't let go. I'm the healer of the group. If I let go, people die. So I'm just gonna not do that.
Well, then you must trust us, Brooks. Don't believe the worst is going to happen.
Just I need to fucking sorry. You see he's trying, and as you put your hands around him, he just tries to push away from you.
No. How about? Oh, okay. Not one. Yeah, you do.
Punch him? You punch him?
No,
Yeah.
that would be a grapple check, so go ahead and roll athletics. And Dr. Rook says you're resisting, you get to do acrobatics or athletics.
Oh.
Let's see. Both are
Actually,
I still get a not one.
I was
damn
actually
it.
going to give you advantage because Dr. Rooks is really trying to hold on to his magic.
Yeah, I'm assuming I get
25.
disadvantage.
I mean, you were already hugging him, so it's fine.
Damn.
17. Yikes.
Okay.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, you really tried to resist, but it's Zai.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, he's like, no, seriously, stop.
It's
He-
like a
he-
gigantic hug.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
like
he's
he
trying to-
lifts you off your feet, hug.
Yeah, that's fair. No, he's trying to resist, but after a while of him doing that, you just feel just his body shaking as the magic just like slowly like dissipates out of him. It's like a lot. Like it's like 5. Like, have you ever like emptied a bucket in it and the water's falling out for 5 minutes? It's like that. I might. Never mind. I'm not gonna comment on that. And after a while, he hugs you back. He's just fully just like weeping.
It'll be alright.
and then fades to black.
And fades to black. And scene.
Reverie just awake like these guys are fucking weird.
We'll take our Oscars now.
Reverie, do you want to be awake and see that?
Hell yeah.
Okay. You're upset that you don't have a tree to sleep in, and so it's hard for you to sleep.
I don't
And
know why,
you-
I'm just imagining us just hearing like someone sipping a soda very loudly.
He's eating like the tree bark jerky.
just totally chomping on it. Oh my god. All right. The rest of the evening finishes with no problem. It's a really safe area.
Yeah, Dr. Rook has a very long conversation with Zalopar.
Yeah. And you guys awake the next morning. Dr. Rooks looks like he has dark circles under his eyes, but looks probably the best he has in a while, other than that.
I cast. I was gonna say I cast Lesser Restoration, but I don't think that helps with dark circles.
Dude, I wish.
Wait. Oh, so Zai was like, citrus might help. I heard citrus is also not only good for desserts, but good for skincare. You rub a little bit of the rock, and your dark circles might get rid of it.
Wait, are you serious?
I'm being so serious.
I hate that you asked.
All my life, I have never known this.
No, the doctor was just it's fine. I need to go to Ebony's temple to pray for a bit.
You guys are like maybe a week travel from Ebony's temple.
God damn it, Zari. I asked for one thing. No, I'm kidding. He's like, I'll probably feel better after I get to the temple and pray.
Alrighty. So you all wake up, continue on your merry way. And you know what? I think this is a good place to end tonight's session. So we'll pick back up when you guys just cross outside of Brightstone and are continuing on your way towards the Claire's Kingdom. By way of
Yeah.
Ebony's Temple.
Yeah.
Period.
All right. Oh,
Every
yay.
new babe.
Alrighty. Bringing new parties together is always fun. I really liked that conversation. That made me happy. Okay. I'm
Yep.
trying to think. Like,
Twitter,
sorry,
YouTube. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, Twitter. Follow us on Twitter if you aren't already. That is @RollDestined. As well as check us out on YouTube to see backlogs of these sessions and so on and so forth.
If you don't follow us on social media, I will send a text to you, the exact inappropriate text to you, the exact moment your parents ask to look at your phone.
Insolicitive dick pics.
No.
All right, not that, but calm down.
No.
Dear Lord.
Stop.
Okay, on that note, we will see you next Thursday at 6 p.m. for Pacific Standard Time for another episode of Patolus, and then on next Friday at 7 p.m. for another episode of Wanderer's Path. Everybody say good night.
Good night.